everyone, it's Justine and I'm designing today for the AAA card challenge. This is a super simple card today and it's for the theme Use Your Stash. Now I've had this stamp for ages in my stash and haven't had a chance to play with it, so that's my interpretation of the challenge. It's from Visible Image and it comes with just two stamps, this really big butterfly and the Live Life Now sentiment, which I really love stamp sets like this where you pretty much get one look out of it. So you can, different looks, but you don't have to do a lot of work. Because this butterfly stamp is such a large focal point on the card, it pretty much does all the work for you. Because it's such a large solid image, I want to be stamping with my MISTI. I want to be able to make sure that I'm stamping in the same spot more than once. As you can see when I stamp it, there are a couple of little white spots. One, because this is a brand new stamp, so that means that it's not seasoned yet. And two, the reason being is that solid areas tend to do that with stamping. I'm sure all of you have had that experience before. So I'm inking up using Altenews Coral Berry ink, and I am making sure that I have all the ink on the stamp. When I folded it over, I realized some was still missing. I'm just going to push using my fingers on the MISTI, not too hard, but just to make sure that I've touched every area of the stamp. And you can see just where the butterfly's head is, you can see there's a little bit of an area that isn't the greatest as far as the stamping goes. Now this will go away again when you season your stamp, and to do that you can stamp it multiple times on a scrap piece of paper, or you can grab a white eraser and that'll often do the trick, just erasing over to remove any film during the manufacturing process. I personally prefer to use my MISTI, it's just a lot easier. Next up, I'm just going to stamp my stamp just over top of the butterfly in black. I think the black over top of the pink is going to make it really bold and really great. Before I did that, I obviously wanted to clean off my stamp first. So I picked up my stamp using the MISTI and I'm just going to straighten it to make sure that it's going to be straight when I stamp on the card. I'm stamping in VersaFine ink in black, and I did it twice just to get a really great impression. Now it was time to add the embellishments to this card, and I thought long and hard about what I'm going to use to embellish it. It looked a little bit too plain, but I wanted to keep it clean and simple since it's a clean and simple challenge. So I decided to use some Nuvo drops. These are drops that I've used them in a few videos in the last little while. I absolutely love them. And you apply them directly to the card and they'll stick here as long as they dry, and it's a lot cheaper and more economical than buying actual enamel dots. So I folded up my card base and got started. I'm going to use two different colors here. I'm going to use white and pink, and I'll link to those in the description below so you know exactly where to get them. I believe it's called Red Berry is the color. And I'm just going to add 3 of each color just to add a little bit of embellishment to the card. And I think the color matches quite well with the ink. It's not a perfect match, but it's good enough. And I think always adding a little bit of white to the card really helps as well. As you can see, I got a little bit off to the side, like a little droplet, but I was able to put it back in its place. Because it's fast drying, I would say in terms of probably 20 minutes it would be completely dry, so you just need to set it off to the side. But it's also not so fast that you can still play with it and shape it if it tends to get out of a circular shape. So that's the end of today's card tutorial today, really. I hope you'll join us for the AAA card challenge this week and create something from your stash that's been sitting around maybe for a while that you need to be using. Thanks so much for watching. Here's a final view of the card that was made today. If you're interested in any of the supplies used, you could check out my blog by clicking up at the top. Either moving video will take you to videos that I've made this week, or you can click on the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in a couple of days for another video.